And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Well, what a surprise. Rangers lose again, this time to Aberdeen in the Scottish Premiership as we fall 9 points behind Celtic and Aberdeen as we sit in third, and we are on the just at the end of October. Unforgivable, manager needs to go. Definitely. Philippe Clement needs to go. It's not just his tactics, it's not just his coaching that's an absolute mess, but his interviews, trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the supporters in his interviews and chatting absolute nonsense. Have you heard a guy chat more waffle than Philippe Clement? The guy just pisses me off. In fact, I've stopped watching his interviews. I had to listen to his interview yesterday just to hear what excuses he would come up with regards to the game, and it was just laughable. You know, the supporters are watching the game and he's trying to tell us how we seen it. I think he said that we were pretty good, one of our best performances of the season. He is chatting absolute horseshit, because anyone, especially that first half, and that as a performance of the season, needs to be checked out. Even the supporters with blue tinted glasses, and I am one of those most of the time, have well and truly turned, and it's going to get really toxic for Philippe Clement, and there's no defending that performance just there. It was absolutely disgusting. Now, I warned you ahead of it in the preview video, discussing it, and stated that I have a bad feeling. I thought Rangers would would lose this match. And again, Rangers did lose this match because we're absolutely woeful from top to bottom on the pitch and off of it. Aberdeen are, again, make a mockery of everything Clement says in interview after interview after interview. Aberdeen, again, I hate them, not as much as Celtic, but I hate Aberdeen as a club, and I've loved the misery over the last few years, but I've got to give them their due. They've got it absolutely correct with the way that their management system is. They brought somebody in after losing two of their best players in Connor Barron and, most importantly, Mivioski. They spent £1.5 million over the summer with a brand new manager after staying up, battling relegation, and they have turned the team. They are a hard-working, well-drilled, well-coached team, and everything Clement has said is made a mockery of what Aberdeen have done so far this season. Everything. You know, Clement could use these excuses if there was a team that wasn't in this league that just made a complete mockery of it. Again, he can pull the wool over people's eyes that we need time, all this sort of stuff. We've spent millions and millions and millions of pounds on new players. And this argument of new players bedding in, there was 8 players who were here last season that started the game against Aberdeen. So that stuff needs to big F off. It's absolute nonsense, and he is full of shit, absolutely full of shit. Aberdeen have made a mockery of him, and we're sitting third in the table, guys, not second in the table. By the way, being 9 points behind Celtic in any season is absolutely unforgivable after playing one Old Firm game, by the way, one Old Firm game. Being 9 points behind Celtic at this stage is unforgivable for any Rangers manager. But being 9 points behind in third place and 9 points behind second, there is no going back. That is disgusting and disgraceful, and Philippe Clement needs to go today. It's going to turn very toxic. We've got a few more games. I said after the Kilmarnock defeat, which was absolutely outrageous, then he had 3 games to save his job. He needed 3 wins. He got 2. And he's just failed at the last hurdle, and in my book, he needs to go. Chris Boyd has called for him to go, of course, in a passionate rant yesterday on Sky Sports. I've seen other Rangers influencers call for him to go now, and I'm actually starting, again, I know it's not a representation of every supporter, but on social media, everyone's asking for him to go. Now, we've shot ourselves in the foot because some tit at the club, idea of giving a new contract in the summer, I don't know what to say. Someone gave him a new contract after he'd been at the club since October in August till 2028. We are mismanaged from top to bottom. We are an absolute disgrace. And we're going to be paying the price for it. Because if you looked at our accounts, we had 2 managers still on the books. And Clement has to be the next one. Whilst it might cost us money, it's going to cost us a ton more money keeping this clown in a job. He's third in the table and end of October, 9 points behind second place. disgusting, unforgivable, and can't be happening. I'm well and truly there for a patient rebuild. I am. Genuinely, I am. I'm there for a patient rebuild. I understand a rebuild, but I've got to see something on the pitch to really get me behind. We're at the end of October, going into November. We're regressing. We look worse than we did when he came in last season. We don't look good. There is no defending the performance yesterday, and I don't believe this manager will turn it around. I don't think we are getting better under him. I think we're getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and there is absolutely nothing there to indicate that he's a good coach. There is no shape, there's no solid base at the back, nothing up front. It's all hoping that someone, a player, might come up with the goods. Whether that been Cherney the last couple of games, it's been Bajrami, offered a bit of a miracle yesterday to kind of get us back. A great bit of play by him. But Tavernier has been previous years, but he's fucking rotten. He's genuinely rotten. Tavernier is hopeless, and it's sad to see because this player was my favourite player. But I said before the summer, it's time for him to go. It's time for him to be sold and to leave. And now he's going to be going into this testimonial that Rangers have wanted to try and keep him for such a long time. He's going to be having this testimonial and no fan will show up because he's been absolutely dreadful this season. He got absolutely pocketed yesterday. He's been made a mockery. He's getting embarrassed week in and week out. And there was actually a salvation. We could have got a bit of money for him in the summer from a Turkish club. At the end of this summer, we're going to be left with a player that's about to turn 34 years old, captain, playing a testimonial when no fan's going to show up because he's been absolutely disgraceful. And that's not the reception that James Tavernier should have had. But again, mismanagement from top to bottom. It's not all on Clement. Yes, we're a shambles everywhere at the club at this moment in time, in the boardroom, everywhere throughout the club, the pitch, everything. But the manager, I need to see something, and there's absolutely nothing to indicate that we're a well-coached, well-drilled team. Absolutely nothing. And again, Jimmy Philippe from Aberdeen makes an absolute mockery. As I said, Clement can pull the wool over people's eyes. He can try and say what he wants, come up with excuse after excuse after excuse about this rebuild and being patient about this rebuild. He is not the right man for the job, and Jimmy Philippe makes an absolute mockery of it because he's come into a worse situation. And look at Aberdeen, you can not have the players that you want. You can have players that have never played in Scotland before, but you should still see the fundamentals after a pre-season. Bear in mind, this guy's been in the job for a year now, but we should see the fundamentals from pre-season. Yes, a few rusty games at the start, but certainly by going into November, you should see a coaching philosophy. You should see a style of play. You should see that a team can at least work hard, and those players are no longer working for him. It's a ticking time bomb. He needs to be removed, and Rangers really need to look at this season and try and sort themselves out. They need to sort themselves out and create something. We're not going to win anything this year. It's about salvaging third place. We're not definitely guaranteed third place. Dundee United are creeping up, so we're not guaranteed anything in this season, which is diabolical in itself. But it could get a lot worse. It could get a lot worse, and I'm really, really sad to see the way my football club is going at this moment in time. It's truly depressing. But again, we've seen it happening from the start. Pre-season was a mockery. Everything's been shambles. Not winning Old Firm games. I'm sick of him. I'm ready for him to go, and I'm fully Clement out. And there's nothing that he can do to really salvage it at this moment in time, unless he wins every single game until the turn of the year, which is marginally and impossible. We've got the semi-final at Hampden this weekend. I don't see us getting to a final. Even that, if we do beat Motherwell, it shouldn't necessarily mean that his job's safe, because we ain't going to win the final, regardless of who wins that game. It's going to be a really, really good tie between Celtic and Aberdeen. But whoever goes through, whoever wins that match will win the cup, because we ain't going to be beating any of those two teams, especially with Clement in charge. So, need to sack the manager. I'm absolutely livid. I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated. And I want to see Rangers make a statement today at some point. Why? To understand where he's going to be stepping down. And then we've got the November international break. Put someone in interim boss for the next 2 games. And let's get somebody in over the November international break with a clear philosophy. People say Kevin Muscat. At least he has a clear coaching philosophy. At least we'll be able to see what he's trying to do within the pitch. Clement, I have absolutely no idea what that guy is trying to do. Guys, hit the like and the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on yesterday. And is Clement out for you? Yes or no? See you later. Take care. Peace.